Are you using social media as a tool, or is social media turning you into a tool?
Oh, Billy.
Are you using Facebook to show your ads, or are you using Facebook to show your...
Grab the duct tape and mentally prepare yourself for yet another mind-expanding knowledge bomb from America's #1 business coach, Clay Clark.
Bombs away.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to another Knowledge Bomb edition of the Thrivetime Show on your radio and podcast download. And Marshall, today's show is coming in hot because we're going to deal with a problem on today's show that I know none of our Thrivers deal with.
None of them. No, other people.
And I know that you don't have a problem with this.
That's right. Other people.
And I'm sure you've never had a problem with this.
Other people.
And I know that Steve Currington has never had a problem with this.
Nope.
And I know that Clay Stairs has. So this show, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, is not for you. It's for someone you know.
It's not for any of us.
Yeah, because we all nobody listening to this show. The people listening to this show, you are classy. You are the finest. This is for other people. Okay, but on today's show, we're talking about how you want to use tools, but not become a tool.
Right.
You want to use tools, but you don't want to become a tool. Right. Right. So let's give an example here, Marshall. You should go on Facebook to show your ads. Ads, Marshall. ADS, ads.
ADS.
But most people misunderstand the idea, and they say, I'm going to go on Facebook to show my, hey now.
Whoa.
You know, well, I mean, I can't say that word on the show. It's a family show. But
family
again,
show.
you should be going on Facebook to show your ads, Marshall. But Marshall, most people are going on Facebook to show their what? Come on, Marshall, clean it up. It's a family show. Okay, so this is the question I want to ask you, okay? I mean this sincerely.
Okay.
You've done some research on this.
That's right.
How much time does the average American spend on social media on a typical day?
Okay, so typical day, entrepreneur.com says that it breaks down to nearly 2 hours a day, 116 minutes.
And according to Nielsen, the average American is spending 5.3 hours a day, 5.3 hours a day watching TV, or is it 5.2?
I'll pull it up.
We'll pull it up. So the average American, so right now, and Clay Stairs, you're a coach.
Yes, sir.
You work with clients.
Yes.
The number one reason people say they can't get something done is always what?
I did not have time.
Now, Steve Currington, you're in the mortgage industry.
Yep.
And you, I'm sure, have never met any realtor or any other mortgage officer, lending officer, who's ever said to you, the reason why I couldn't get something done was because...
I didn't have time.
Have you ever heard that excuse?
Oh, man, every day.
So what if this one show could... What if today's show... What if we said, this will be our final show because this show will change your life, and then we're done?
Bam.
That show would have to be about this topic, which is stop watching TV and stop using social media. And there you have 7 hours back a day, which one could use to grow a business.
Sleep, even if you
go on a
wanted to.
date.
Just get an extra 7 hours of
Engage in
sleep.
copious amounts of marital horizontal activity.
That's true.
You can produce a baby.
You can
It
practice.
is a family show once.
Well, and because I have had a vasectomy, it requires more work to produce a baby.
Yeah.
So I put in the time.
Nice.
I'm willing to put in the time because I'm not watching TV.
Right.
Does that get on your to-do list?
Kind of.
There it is. That's another
Wait a
to-do
minute.
list.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
But it's on the list, right?
Right. Anyway, it's a daily duty to please the booty. I'm going to put that on my tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lyrical
That's
miracle.
good.
Right there.
I've said that for years.
That's
okay, so
good.
it's a daily duty. Sometimes you go, I don't know. You got to keep the streak alive, folks. Now, Marshall, back to you. So Marshall.
Oh, it's so good for me to follow that.
So again,
don't know
what
what
you
to
want to do
say.
is you want to use social media to show your what again?
Ads.
How are you saying that?
With a D. Ads.
Oh, okay.
Ads.
But you don't want to use social media to show what, Marshall?
You don't want to show
Come
your...
on! Stop saying it on the show. Okay, so let's... Okay, so Marshall...
Who is that guy?
He's kind of a big deal. Okay, now here's the deal, Marshall. So how can we, if we refuse to embrace this idea, let's just say, I don't like today's show, I'm going to use social media because I think it's helping my brand. Let's take the Satan does not need an advocate, but let's just say today we advocate Satan. We're helping Satan with this argument, okay?
Okay.
So if I am saying, you don't understand, I get most of my leads from Facebook. Let's just say that's true. You're an outlier. But have you ever met a client so far, Marshall, that you've worked with, and if you have, how many have you met that actually generate real business, not from their ads, but from their interaction on Facebook?
None.
Never?
No.
Now, Monday, I did my annual LinkedIn updating. I had Amanda help me. And you know how I do it?
Did you say annual?
Yes. And do you know how I do it?
I'm surprised you do it annually. I'm surprised.
I
it's
pull
not
up my account
biannual.
because I have my password saved.
That's right.
And I said, Amanda, who's worked with us for about 6 months, I said, Amanda, I need you to go in there and say yes to every single person that knows 5 people I know. And she's like, but aren't you going to respond to the messages? No. Why? Because you know what I mean? That's the thought people have. No, it was Daisy that asked me. Daisy asked me last year if I was going to respond to the messages. And this year, Amanda just wanted to know what the rules were for saying yes. Then, you know what I did on Facebook this week? My one Facebook activity?
Educate me.
We had a competitor posed as a soon-to-be employee and apply for a job for us.
Okay.
And then it was you know kind of it's a sneaky move. I mean it's a sneaky move.
Yeah.
So I defriended everyone who knows him because I'm not going to go on Facebook to show my.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying though? But this guy through the Facebook is allowed because he kind of knows me on Facebook.
Yeah,
He's a
the
Facebook
network.
acquaintance.
Yeah.
He's able to like go in and look what I'm doing and sort of play the game. And so again, but what if I would have gone on Facebook and wrote a comment about the guy who's a competitor for our haircut business and wrote on Facebook like, "You're not very nice." What would have happened, Marshall?
It would have just snowballed out of control and just created all kinds of just chaos.
You would have spent 6 hours responding
Now,
to it.
the people, we had one guy who claims to be my very dear friend I've known for a long time. He came into our downtown store to get his hair cut, and I found out that he's an investor and our competitor. So he came in, got his hair cut, complained, and went on Facebook and wrote horrible reviews, and I know who it is, and I've known the guy.
Oh, wow.
So how did I'm not kidding. I've seen the guy in the last 3 weeks. He acts like he's my friend, but he went into Facebook under a pseudo name and went to Elephant Room under a fake name, complained about his haircut, and wrote a bad review. And this is a guy who calls me friends and sees me at church. So, Marshall, on Facebook, should I go up there and respond to the bad review with spending hours of writing the perfect narrative? How should I handle it?
Well, I bet you wanted to for half a second, and then you're like, no, I probably could do absolutely anything else to better solve the problems in my life.
I choose one of 5 pre-written messages to write. I appreciate you and your concerns. Call this number. We'd love to work it out with you.
And that's it every single time.
Every single time. I do this with all interactions with anybody on social media. Every time. But
I posted a happy birthday to him one year, and he said, "Thank you. Call this number if you have any questions."
There you go. So now I want you guys to provide some narrative into this situation because this is a huge problem. Again, people say their number one reason they can't get stuff done is they don't have what, Marshall?
Don't have time.
Right. And the biggest usage of people's time today is TV.
Yep. At 5 hours and 4 minutes.
And the smartphone.
Smartphone, 116 minutes.
So one could think that the smartphone is the smaller problem, but that's not true because according to Psychology Today, the average person is now interrupted by their phone over 85 times a day, which means they can no longer sustain a thought. And the research shows that when someone attacks you verbally online or says something about you that you don't agree with or tries to compare with you or create jealousy or envy, what happens to that person mentally, Clay Stairs? When they look at their phone, they see the notification, and they see a very bad thing written about them on Facebook or an opposing political review or opposing political view or a racist view. What tends to happen?
Well, they go emotional. The amygdala fires, and they go to about a third-grade brain, if I'm not mistaken.
So let's just do another example.
So they act like me.
There's a guy who used to work for me years ago who went on Facebook this is about 6 months ago, and wrote, "I cannot believe I did not get the job because I'm a Christian." I guess the owner of the business let him know, "We don't appreciate your values. We're not hiring you," because he's a Christian. Now, this guy, I know this guy very well. Now, let me ask you this. He applied to go work at a bar in town that's owned by a man who's homosexual. Do you guys believe that the homosexual man has to hire the Christian man? Does he have to? I mean, I don't care what the law says. I'm just saying, to a man, do you think he should hire him?
No.
If you're if you're openly a proud homosexual and you don't agree with the person who you're hiring, do you have to hire him? No,
you don't have to hire
wrong
anybody
fit.
for anyone. Yeah.
So this is what the guy I've known forever. This is what he did. He went on Facebook and wrote the name of the guy and said, "This person will not hire me because of my orientation and for being a Christian. It's an abomination."
Uh-oh.
And I know this because I ran into him, and he's like, well, how would you handle this? So to be a friend of the guy, I go into the Facebook, and I look for him just to kind of see. This thing is now like 100 shares. It's become an epidemic, an issue. People are taking sides. You got lesbians on there going, well, I didn't get hired because I'm a lesbian at this one business. And then someone else said, well, I was discriminated here. And then someone else writes, I'm an atheist. I never get jobs. And they go on and on and on. And you know what the cool thing about that whole dialogue there, Steve, was?
What's that?
I had no idea that kind of BS was happening because I'm never on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. So, Marshall, I would like for you to preach the good news. I would like for you to share how bad of a problem do you think social media is for the average human?
It's a huge problem because of exactly what you said. Is it doesn't mean that like if you're on social media scrolling through, it's just the notifications. They pop up on your phone, and so if you got your phone sitting next to your keyboard there, or if you got your phone in your lap, or it's buzzing constantly,
is that distracting?
That was a little distracting.
That's what. Now listen. Did that piss you off just a little bit, kind of?
Just
when you're
bit.
Talking, and then it's like, does that piss you off?
I was talking here, Clay.
This is what people hear though on social media all the time about their life.
Yeah.
Because they're comparing their own body, how they look. Well, some woman out there needs to write this down. You are taking a photo with your family, and before you upload it, Steve, what do? What do most women do?
Edit,
and they do what? They add a filter to it?
Add a filter.
That makes them look less...
Like skinnier, clearer skin.
Less wrinkles.
Yeah, like darker skin. Maybe they look
that?
tan, maybe.
No, and they do. And then what happens is then they feel like, oh my gosh, I am not a good... I don't live up. I should look better at the age of 40. I should look younger because look how young they look. But when you see them in person, they look very different than they look on Facebook because Facebook has allowed you to go through the vomit of your life and pick out kernels of corn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You go through and you're like, oh, here's a kernel. So Marshall, again, why are the distractions such a bad thing?
It's such a bad thing is because you can't prepare for when the notifications are coming in. Oh.
Like that.
Yeah, I couldn't have prepared.
Seriously, I'm not going to hit the button for a while. Continue.
Okay. And so when you're making sales calls, you're training your team, you're doing absolutely anything within your business, you can't be prepared for when those are going to happen. And when they do, it completely derails the entire situation. What? And then you have to refocus yourself. It takes like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour to get back
into that neural pathway.
That's right.
So if you're doing warm-ups for basketball, you played basketball.
That's right.
When you're warming up, why do you warm up before just playing?
Warm up before just playing because you got to get the body loose, you got to get in the right mindset.
And how long does it take? What would you do to get the right mindset before the game?
I had a long runway to get ready. I would get to the gym. I would get to the gym 3 hours before game time.
Tell me about the same socks.
Oh, same
Please.
socks,
Oh, yeah.
same socks, same undershirt, same playlist, same sequence of the playlist.
By the way,
every
great player of anything does the same thing. They have a routine.
Oh yeah.
But you can't. But a lot of players. I know a lot. I've heard a lot of stories of a lot of professional athletes that will not speak to their spouse on a game day. They'll get to the stadium like 6 a.m. and they don't speak because they're playing football. It's a very violent game. They want to get in the right mindset before the game, and they're not. A lot of people say who was the receiver who is super small, who had the unbelievable stiff arm, who was unbelievably undersized but awesome. Panthers, Steve Smith.
Okay.
Spud Webb.
Have you guys ever seen Steve Smith play? Have you guys ever seen Steve Smith?
I might need to pull up some highlights.
Steve Smith played football so violently. He had a stiff arm where he would knock people down, and he's a small guy, but he would knock anybody down. And he's violent on the field. And he had a persona, but everyone says that's not what he's like as a dad, which, by the way, is the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So for me and any successful entrepreneur, it's like stepping onto the field.
Yeah, you shouldn't check your phone on game day.
I don't want to call on game day. But what happens is Marshall, they're trying to sit down and write a book right now. Somebody out there listening is trying to write the web stuff. Someone out there listening right now, you're trying to add content to your website. You're trying to write the words needed to be added to your website, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to write the material for a brochure.
Yeah.
You're trying to make a pro forma. How long did you work on that pro forma yesterday?
Hours. Like maybe, I don't know, 8 hours between at the office and at night.
So you're trying to work on a pro forma, and then here comes a social media update. Whoop.
Yep.
With a little emoji or a favicon or some sort of image that moves, and then this is what the headline says.
Probably my best tip is tip number 8. Always keep bags of your own poop. Collect it throughout your stay, and just have it ready.
and then you laugh, and then you're like, that's awesome. And then you share it with somebody, and then you realize, holy crap, I just wasted a half hour. And then you think to yourself, and then you have no money in the bank because you get paid based on results and not intentions. And then you go on Facebook and compare yourself with people who aren't even real.
Mm-hmm.
Clay Stairs.
Yes.
If you could speak the good news to your former clients, current clients, to anybody out there who says, but I have to use Facebook. I really do. It's how I'm branding myself. Have you ever worked with a client that's made a lot of money as a result of not their ads, but their interactions on Facebook?
No, I have not.
How many Facebook friends do you have, Marshall? Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know how many Facebook friends I have?
I don't know. 5,000.
How many can I have? I don't know how many
You
you
can
can
have 5,000.
5,000? I'm a loser. No, but you can have like five. I don't know how. I don't know the number here. Let me see. I have 2,615.
Okay.
So I guess yesterday I had like
You're
2,680
so popular.
because I defriended a lot of people yesterday.
That's right.
So, but
I don't even know how to defriend.
I'll show you. It's awesome.
Oh, it's easy. Hey, but no, hold on. Here's the deal. You can't just unfriend them. You also have to block them.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's
So
the
I'm,
move.
so I'm on the friends though here, right? So of all of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, how many of them pay me? Now,
question.
of the ones that, so in 2,615 people, I mean, should I stay in touch? Is it possible to be friends with 2,615 people?
No.
I don't think it's possible to be friends with 15 people.
Because
very
friendships
hard.
require what?
I don't think
Time.
it's possible to-
Time and
Investment.
keep going. Time investment. That's also
Energy.
Time, energy. All that kind of relates to time, in my opinion. Those are
Yeah.
all. There's
Yeah.
one more thing. There's one more thing to be a friend that we need. One more thing. One more guess.
Money.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Shared values.
Oh.
I cannot be your friend if I don't share values with you.
There it is.
Because I can't be sincere. So, as an example, if you are out there listening today and you are antagonistic towards the Christian worldview, like you're antagonistic, like if you hate the fact that I'm a Christian and you hate Christians, we could never be friends. But the thing is, like, if you're not a Christian out there listening, I don't care. So my worldview is I care not what your religious view is. I would just love to solve a problem for you in exchange for money.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and go on Facebook and beat you up about your religious views. But the moment that you attack mine, we have problems. Another example, if you like to have a wife and then a girl on the side, if that's a pattern you like to have, we probably can't be friends.
Not good.
We definitely can't be friends because I would hate you as a person. Not just like, it wouldn't be like, oh, it's okay. And I know God forgives. But for me, I would go, I don't forgive you. And I wouldn't move
not
on.
so
To me, it's a
much.
deal breaker. The conversation's over. To me, if you are, these are concepts. But on Facebook, we have to have these divisive conversations all day, every day. And then Facebook uses you as a tool, and you don't use it as a tool. Facebook is a tool. Marshall, how is Facebook a great tool for our clients that use it to show their ads and not their...
Whoa.
Okay, so how is Facebook a good tool?
Well, you can actually get your ads or an offer or your product or your service out in front of a very specific audience. You can target where they're at, what are they interested in, all of these different things as part of their demographics to target the ads. So it is one of the most effective ways to make an offer, get your name out in front of people. So that's awesome. But the thing is if you're just constantly sitting there updating your business page all day, going and friending people left and right, none of that has ever created revenue for the businesses I've worked with.
Do you find social media to be oddly addictive, Marshall?
Yeah, I would say that it's built in such a way that it hooks you, it grabs you.
It was designed to be addictive, though. Let's make sure we're getting that. It was designed to be addictive. And Marshall, has it not shocked you over the years, as we've interviewed, really, I mean, the number one pastor in America right now by size of church, Craig Rochelle.
Yep.
We've interviewed the top manager, I would argue, of our lifetimes, Lee Cockrell, who managed Disney World and 40,000 employees. As we've interviewed Michael Levine, the top PR guy of all time, Seth Godin, one of the top marketing experts of all time. We just interviewed the best management guy that I have period, outside of Jack Welch. As far as an author goes, the author of the 1 Minute Manager. We're interviewing the who's who of the planet. Is it not amazing to you how, as you go up the food chain higher, the amount of time they spend on social media decreases dramatically. Like the people at the top use social media the least. Is this not?
It's not a coincidence.
Is this not blowing your mind?
It is blowing my mind.
Have you noticed that the people who are having the least success typically will come into the conversations you might have as friends and family with them? They're always upset about something that happened on Facebook that they can't control. Have you noticed this to be a thing?
I would say they're just upset with just about anything that they can't control.
I would say without...
That's so true.
Isn't it crazy? Outraged.
Go on Facebook and you'll find
a lot of that.
You'll find so many things that you can't control, but they stir your emotions.
So I'm going to go on to Facebook right now with you guys, as I often don't, and I'm going to see what's going on. Because I guess this is what people are doing for 2.5 hours a day. So let's see what's going on. Can we do that, guys? Is that cool?
Yeah. Sure.
And I'll just use first names. I won't use last names. So Brandon, during the middle of the day, is talking about college football. That's good. I'm glad he's got the financial freedom and time freedom to do that. We've got an ad about disruptive advertising. We've got somebody updating the In-N-Out burgers coming to Tulsa, which is great. And during the middle of the day, it's being updated, which is good because I'm glad they have the time freedom and financial freedom to do that.
Wait, what? In-N-Out?
We have one lady here who is posting here. Has a Facebook memory going on of wearing a shirt and doing it during the middle of the work day, and she's posting how she wore this shirt years ago, and now she's not wearing that. Well, now, oddly enough, she's wearing the same kind of shirt now. And then there's a guy I see, and I'm just pointing out, there's a guy who commented here, right here, I won't mention his name because it's too obvious, who is perpetually poor, and he is a charlatan who runs around pretending to know what he's doing. This guy is really the worst. And he actually is a spy who came to our office one time to try to spy on our business plans. But he'll high-five you at church. There he is. Then we got this person here who is a good person. I know, who used to work with us. No longer has a job. Last time I talked to her, can't seem to find a job. But there she is on Facebook just updating that status. So that's good because she's got the time freedom and financial freedom to live a life subsidized by her mommy and daddy. And we move on, and we just see we have somebody up here talking about, catwalks, and we've got. And what happens is you could go through here. We have a commercial that, or not commercial. It's, what do you call the thing where it's a picture with a meme? We have a meme that got posted, and they quoted somebody who didn't actually say that thing. So they're quoting someone who didn't make that statement, but they're making it look like he did make that statement. And then people are commenting, and some people are getting outraged, and some people are going to burn their shoes now. And this is just what Facebook has become. And people spend their whole day on here just drifting around going, what's going on? What's going on? What am I missing? And this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO, the fear of missing out, causes people to always want to look like, I don't want to miss out.
Like
I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
And so, Callistus, I want to get your take on this. Daniel Goleman, the clinical psychologist, the best-selling author, writes, by the way, a guy we just had on the Thrivetime show, the best-selling author of Emotional Intelligence, he writes, we need to recreate boundaries. When you carry a digital gadget that creates a virtual link to the office, you need to create a virtual boundary that didn't exist before. Clay Stairs, what are practical ways you can create a digital boundary? Like when you're in a meeting with your clients, I noticed you're not on social media.
Right.
What kind of digital boundaries have you set up?
Well, first of all, Clay, probably one of the biggest things that just in the last probably 6-7 months I've done is just turn off notifications on your phone.
Entirely.
Just turn them off, because that's one of the things that is so distracting when you're using your smartphone is you're going to go make a phone call, but at the same time you see all those little red dots saying, hey, did you know that there's sweet candy if you push this button? Hey, did you know? Did you know?
Now, you guys, I'm not asking you to share my worldview, but I want you to share my pain on this. Can you all picture someone in your family who has a very different worldview than you, diametrically opposed worldview to you, and they are related to you? Can you everybody picture that in your mind? You got somebody? Okay, we got somebody. So Clay Stairs, I'm sure like during a Thanksgiving, or Steve, I'm sure during a Thanksgiving or Christmas, you're the kind of guys who would get together with these people on Christmas and Thanksgiving, right? Because you love them unconditionally, and you're going to let them spew their political divisive ideas, and you're not going to defriend them from life, right?
Right.
Am I right? I mean, you're gonna be friends. They can stay in your family forever. Is that how you roll over there at the Carrington House? Can they roll? I'm asking you a question. Can you, if somebody brings politically divisive conversations into your Christmas or Thanksgiving and they try to argue about something, do you let them come back next year? What are your rules?
No. I don't care if you're related to me or not. I'd banish you from my life.
And furthermore, this is be my world. You and I are very similar. I actually, as a general rule, dislike everyone in my family, with an exception of a couple. So if you are in my family, I specialize in banning you from my life because I don't like you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to have a hall pass to ruin my life.
Yeah.
But on Facebook, regardless of how you view, you're saying you're such a mean person. If you stay friends with them, what do you get to read every day?
They're divisive.
They're
crap. They're
Right.
They're assets.
So you get to turn off the notifications and you won't see that. How else have you created digital boundaries, Clay Stairs?
Another way that I've created digital boundaries is I am not carrying my phone around with me all the time. It goes in a certain spot when I'm in my office, and there you go.
You guys hear about Starbucks recently banning the porn site from the stores?
The porn site?
Did you hear about this?
I didn't know that was a problem.
Did you know about this?
At Starbucks?
You guys didn't know about
Like
this?
when you're on their
No.
Wi-Fi, you can't look at porn.
Okay, let me explain this.
That's interesting. that people.
I'll pull it up here real quick. This right here is from, let me pull it up. This will be from Forbes. So Forbes posted they have now banned the company, an adult company. They've banned that company's website from their store. And do you know why they did it? Anybody want to guess why?
I'm guessing because so many people were going to it and they were using
Most
bandwidth.
Yeah, now who is doing the banning? Is
Starbucks is saying that
banning.
you cannot look at porn while in a Starbucks.
Well,
Do you know why they had to ban this, though? Do you know?
Well,
I have a friend of mine who owns a fast food restaurant, very successful in the Dallas area, and his number one reason why employees were in the bathroom for an hour is the men were looking at porn in the bathroom.
Wow.
So any of the bathrooms that you can lock, like at Starbucks you can lock the bathroom,
yeah.
those become porn viewing stations. And so that's why your employees are in the bathroom for an hour. And so Starbucks monitors the traffic of where their Wi-Fi traffic is going to, and it's such an issue that they had to come out and ban the company.
Jeez.
And now the owner of that company came out, the owner of the porn company came out and said that he's banning Starbucks beverages from his business, which is stupid that he's even a relevant conversation.
He'll show them.
Yeah.
Right. But all I'm saying is that not crazy that employers have now Marshall, back in Steve, back in the 80s, if you wanted to get yourself some good adult content in the 80s, what'd you have to do in the 80s? Some good.
Find a friend who had an uncle or a dad that had a magazine.
Right. But it was like you had to go to a different part of town.
Oh, yeah.
A shady part of town or a crappy gas station.
You have to have that one friend.
Then you had to carry the I remember the guy on the school bus when I was in high school. He's the first guy that we knew who had the stuff.
Yeah.
And that guy was like a really sleazy, gross guy. His family was sleazy and gross. Now, though, you can come across as like a clean-cut guy, go into that Starbucks, boom. So I'm saying to you, Mr. Listener, Mrs. Listener, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying, is your smartphone making you smart or is it making you dumb? That would be my question I would ask right now. Is your smartphone making you smart or dumb? So let's do an example. Marshall, think about something that you have a huge problem, a huge temptation problem with. Think about something, okay? I will. This will be mine. If I ever start to read a book, I don't want to stop until I'm done. Like, it's a thing. So, I never want to start a book.
I was thinking too.
No, but seriously, and I want to block out everybody and everything until I finish it. It's really, I like tunnel vision. So I try not to, does that make sense to you? I will just disappear from my family for hours and read. So I have to ban myself from reading at certain times. That's just what I do. Somebody out there, you might go like ice cream. Every time I have ice cream, I just freaking. Anybody here just love ice cream? You love ice cream? If you have ice cream in your house, you're gonna eat it.
Yes.
Every time that my wife buys ice cream, I immediately throw it away. Just so you know, it's a little tip.
There you go.
So, but if I see it, I want to eat it. I'm like, oh, there's ice cream. But the idea of getting rid of the temptation of just not having the dessert in your house, that's what stops it. So if you are having an addiction right now, and by the way, a large percentage of Americans do, to social media and to adult content, get rid of the phone.
Yeah.
Don't have the notifications on. Marshall, how has not having notifications on for you changed your life?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's actually killed all habit. I didn't realize how much of a habit there was until I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I did it at first just during the workday, and then I just left it on all day. I was like, this is awesome. And pretty soon I no longer had a habit. But when I first started doing it, I was like, I kept checking my phone and I go, is that my phone? Is it my phone?
You get
is
the
it my
phantom,
phone?
the phantom buzz on the
I don't anymore, but I used to.
When was
And
the last time that you got sincerely irritated as a result of a social media post? When was the last time where you went, man, Like it altered how you felt. You were feeling good, right? But you're at the grocery store, or you're on a date, or you're on a vacation, you're on a trip, you're at work, something, and you saw a post that was so divisive, so crazy, so mean, so whatever, that you're like, oh my gosh. And it just kind of made you think about it for maybe the rest of the day. When was the last time, Marshall, something like that happened? I'm not asking for the specific person, just vagaries, but like, do you remember the last kind of time that happened?
Yeah, I think I can remember it.
Do you remember what kind of issue it was?
It was definitely political.
Political, okay.
Yeah.
Clay Steers, have you had a time that's ever happened to you?
Yeah, it's been a while back because I don't do the social media a lot, but it has been a while back, and it was a personal attack on me
There it is.
by a family member.
There it is, and it's online.
Yeah, it's out there.
Online.
Still out there today.
Because people are online showing their what, Marshall?
They're showing something.
But they should be online just showing their
Ads.
Right. Okay. So again, I'm just trying to help somebody out there. The average person's watching 5.2 hours a day per day of TV. And you know what? I think that actually, if I had to choose, you say give up my smartphone or my TV, give up my social media or my TV. I'd rather you give up your social media, because your social media is destroying your brain.
Oh yeah.
It is. You say, Clay, destroying? Yes. Marshall, have you seen the smartphone or the article Psychology Today about how your smartphone is actually making you unhappy?
Yeah.
Have you seen this stuff, Dave? Have you seen these articles?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
Plus, I talk to people every day who are constantly unhappy, and they're referencing things that are happening on.
Let me read this real quick, Steve, to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said you've talked to real people, though. You said you're talking to real people.
Yeah, because everybody's like, "Oh my God, did you see?" Even my wife, she'll say, "Did you see?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't see."
Yeah.
Furthermore, I don't care.
So let me give an example. Here we go. Let me give an example real quick, okay? So this is what Psychology Today says. It says, why your smartphone is destroying your life and what you can do about it. Today, I'm psyched to address, this is, by the way, a PhD writing this article based on clinical research. Today, I'm psyched to address an issue that plagues us all. It excites me so much, it even rivals karaoke on my personal passion scale. But first, a question would be, would you like to be smarter, more empathetic, and have better relationships? The majority of us would probably say yes. What if I told you could improve all these things for free with just one small act? Now, you're perhaps both intrigued and suspicious. I promise it's not a trick. You can have all these things, and you need only to do one thing: disconnect from your smartphone. And it goes on to talk about obsessively scrolling through social media isn't only bad for your head, it's bad for your boss, because you're not working.
Yeah.
You're engaging in comparison, argument, your resentment. Marshall, can you read the notable quotable here from, this would be the notable quotable from
Naval
Ravikant. Yes, the early stage investor in Uber, Twitter, and other social media platforms who openly talks about how you shouldn't use these things.
Okay. He says, I don't think modern science has good answers here. I think that modern world is actually really bad. The modern world is full of distractions. Things like Twitter and Facebook are not making you happy. They are making you unhappy. You're essentially playing a game that's created by the creators of those systems, and yes, it can be a useful game once in a blue moon. You're engaging in the dispute and resentment, comparison, jealousy, anger about things that frankly don't matter.
Yeah.
Naval Ravikant.
And that, that is, Steve, you said it just a moment ago, it just draws you in to start caring about things that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're out of your control, or they just don't matter, but all of a sudden you care about it.
Yeah, there's major events that, and I'm not minimizing anything that's happened, but major world events that happen that I don't have a clue about, except the lettuce thing, by the way. Okay, the romaine lettuce.
I didn't know till
the
I
only
ordered
reason
it
I know
just the other
anything
night.
about romaine lettuce is because someone was making like a lettuce, like a joke about romaine lettuce, and I was like, oh, I didn't get it. And they're like, oh, it's like, and I'm like, I would have no idea. I guess I would have died from eating romaine lettuce or something, because I just don't. I refuse to watch the news. I used to be a big watcher of Fox News, just for the political side of it, and I just don't watch the news. Furthermore, I do get on Facebook and Instagram, but I don't go through the feed. I post my thing, what I'm going to do that is, for my company, and then I move on.
I am simply saying to you out there, if you are ever saying, I don't have time to get something done, I would suggest you get off your smartphone. Now, I'm telling you this because this is me. I personally, if I have a deadline, I get it done. And if you said, hey, can you get it done? I get it done. But if I couldn't get it done and I was on smartphones all the time on social media and I'm using that as an excuse, you got to figure out where's your time going?
Yeah.
And for almost everyone, it's going to social media and to TV. Now, Marshall, Paul Graham, this is the guy behind Airbnb, Reddit, Dropbox, Y Combinator. He says what about smartphones?
I've never carried an iPhone.
Now, Psychology Today, excerpt from Psychology Today, says what here? What's a little fun fact here again about the number of interruptions we're getting?
The typical smartphone owner interacts with his or her phone an average of 85 times per day.
So if you're out there right now, I want you to write down the answer to this question. Is your smartphone a tool for you, or are you a tool for your smartphone? That's question number one.
What if you're a tool for a whole different reason? Never mind. Go ahead.
I believe that people are becoming a tool. I see it all the time, though, because then question number two is how much money did you bring in this year in your business as a result of interacting with people on social media? And if that number is a really high number, then keep doing it. Keep using social media.
Keep going.
But if it's not, get out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give specific examples that my mind cannot handle and I must cathartically share with you. One, dentists. Nobody wants to read your blog. No, Mr. Dentist, no one wants to read the blog. Marshall, nobody wants to read a dental blog.
No,
Why?
because it's a dental blog.
Right? Okay. Mr. Podiatrist out there.
Okay.
Nobody wants to look at your Facebook posts about how many new patients you have this week.
Really?
No one cares. Mr. Mortgage.
Okay.
Mr. Real Estate. Anyone in the real estate world. People want to hire you to help them sell their house or to get a mortgage or whatever. They do not care about your 17 tips for getting your house ready to sell.
Oh.
Steve, how many people have you met, real estate agents, who are wasting crazy amounts of time coming up with their 407 steps or their shameless reposts of other people's posts about your 407 steps to getting ready for an open house?
Yeah, everyone. And I think the mentality is for a lot of people in businesses, they think there's like a quick way, a quick answer, a get rich quick type thing. And they think, oh, no, like we talked about the click funnels. Oh, no, you just put a click funnel. And nothing is going to replace you doing the work to get deals in the door for your business. And you can't replace that by posting funny memes on Facebook. Now, if you might enjoy posting funny memes, then post them for fun, but don't expect to get business from it.
I don't know people that use, if you might be the only person that I know who uses social media for fun and doesn't get used by social media. I don't know people that use social media for fun and don't get used by social media. I can honestly tell you, I don't care at all about what anybody ever posts at all on social media or what I post on social media. I don't care because it doesn't matter. Yeah. All I care about is my wife, my kids, my friends, my customers, and my partners. I don't care what other people think about Trump today. I don't care about Obama and Trump embracing each other at the funerals. And I don't care about the wall that needs to be. I don't care. And all I care about is what I can control. And Marshall, why is it so powerful when you only focus on what you can control? Why is that a powerful idea?
Because then you begin to seeing the most change and activity within your life towards your goals.
Last night, you came over to work with my son on music mixing.
Yes.
What was happening when you first came upstairs?
You guys were practicing mixing in between songs for the upcoming party.
Because that's all I care about is my son. I don't care about Trump or Obama or who died recently. I don't care about the school shooting over there, the school shooting over here. I don't care about the resentment, the issues. I don't care about volcanic eruptions. I don't care about global warming. I don't care about a new floating island you may have found. I don't care at all about anything except for the things that matter to me, which are my wife and my kids. And so I'm DJing with my son. Marshall, why would I be DJing with my son on a Tuesday night? Why?
Because that's how you would enjoy spending your time.
And why would I not be on social media sitting on the couch with my son pretending to be mentally present but being on social media? Why am I not just physically with him but then spending my time on the couch trying to play it off like I'm paying attention going, yeah, right, monkey brain, Why am I not doing that?
Because being a good dad is important to you.
Lisa, is your wife. How long have you guys been married, Clay Stairs?
We have been married for 20 years this year.
And you just got back from a trip?
We did.
Where'd you go?
We went to Colorado Springs.
You guys had a great time, too.
We had an incredible time.
What was the highlight of that
skiing or
trip?
something?
No, we didn't go skiing. It was her birthday. She was looking for an adventure.
Yeah.
And
She turned 22 again. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I created, just getting there took a while. We rented a car. Got on an overnight train.
Ooh.
Which was awesome. Did a Greyhound bus.
Nice. How was that? How was that?
The bus, it was just a 2-hour bus ride.
Okay.
But
was it a festival of personalities?
Oh, it was so good.
Okay.
Yeah. And just had a wonderful
time.
And then flew home.
Would you argue that do you agree that being present is a present?
Oh, yes. Totally.
Marshall, do you agree with that?
Here's the thing: is it's not just social media. Social media is a big part of that. But imagine all of the phone calls, all the text messages, even business related. If your phone is always on you and it's always present, it distracts you. It takes you away because you don't know who it is that's messaging
I got to
you.
take this. Just a moment.
Just a minute. And this is my favorite: is hey, what do you need? I'm in a meeting. I'm like.
You're in a meeting. Why are you answering the phone?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, here's another a big thought today. So again, the capstone, the major thought, if we're building this book in our minds, the topic is you want to use social media, Marshall, to show your
ads,
but you don't want to use social media to show your.
You don't want to show your.
Right now. If that's the main point, right? Because the main point is you want to use social media as a tool and not become a tool as a result of it.
That's right.
If that's the main point.
Yes.
The second point I want to share with you is that being present is a present.
Nice.
Being present is a present, and every day is a gift, and we're running out of them. So being present is a present, but every day is a gift. So imagine God gave you, picture in your mind a bunch of Christmas gifts, okay? And the Christmas gifts were like this. You had 365 gifts per year, so you get one per day, right? And you get to have those for 73 years, right?
Okay.
So, but you won't remember probably the first 5 of them or the last 5 of them.
Yeah.
Think about that. So you really only get to remember 63 of those. So you really only get 63 years of a daily gift.
Yeah.
Each day that gift is called life. That means you only have 22,995 gifts to open. So remembering that you'll be dead soon is very, very important at all times. That's why when people ask me to do lunch, without reservation, I say no unless I want to go to lunch. And when I am at lunch with you, you'll know that I want to be with you because I'm not distracted. So I have a notable quote I want you to read by Ray Dalio. And as you read it, I want the listeners to think about it, and I want Clay Stairs to chime in first on this quote that he has never seen before, that we're introducing to the show. It's from Ray Dalio, a guy who's worth over $10 billion, one of the best investors of all time, a hedge fund investor guy. And Marshall, I'm going to have you read the notable quotable. I'm going to keep the music. I want you to read the notable quotable 3 times, please.
Okay.
Here we go. Let me get it ready. Here we go. All right. Now it's quote reading by Marshall Morris.
Having the basics, a good bed to sleep in, good relationships, good food, and good sex is most important. And those things don't get much better when you have a lot of money.
You're saying, wait a second, you're saying relationships don't get better just because I have more money?
Don't get better.
The food don't get better because I have more money?
When you have a lot of money.
Continue now. What's happening?
Or much worse when you have less. And the people one meets at the top aren't necessarily more special than those one meets at the bottom or in between.
What does that mean to you, Clay Stairs? That quote. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think that there can be, the grass is greener on the other side idea that if I could only get to a certain place, then life will be better over there. People will be better over there. My fulfillment will be better. My marriage will be better. My parenting will be better. Everything will be better over there. And that ain't true.
Can I tell you what's better about getting to the top? I got a few things that are better.
Okay.
Here we go.
Confidence.
Yes.
Knowing that I got myself here feels great. Knowing that I woke up today at 3 o'clock again feels great.
Yeah.
Depositing money doesn't feel that great. Never needing to worry about what things cost ever is great.
Very good.
I never go to the store and I'm like, I wonder what that costs. So people ask me, what are the price of eggs or something? I don't know. What's the price of milk? Don't know. What? I couldn't tell you. Don't know. I don't know. Nope. I like being able to go out to eat and they say, would you like a beverage? Sure. Yeah, it'd be great. Because I remember going, why don't we split this salad we're going to have together at Applebee's?
Yeah.
And Vanessa and I would split the salad and not get a drink. I like to be able to just get what I want. But the people at the top who I've got to be good friends with, I like those relationships better because I share their values.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say, Marshall, and you've seen a lot of it too because you've been there along that ride. There are some pretty shady people. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you're going to run into them.
That's right.
Doesn't matter how much money you have. The food, it only can be so good, right? It's good, but it can only be so good, right?
That's right.
And it gets kind of weird at the very top of the food chain, by the way. The food,
Yeah.
the food starts to get really weird.
Oh, yeah.
Let's eat a baby cow. I don't get it. It just gets kind of weird. Let's not cook that. Let's not cook the fish at all. I guess I like sushi, but it just gets kind of weird. The higher up you go, it's like, I would never eat that at all.
Yeah.
I think kind of middle class food's better in my opinion. But anyway, so the food.
It's a lot of it.
But Marshall, what happens if you're out there just becoming a tool of money? Just becoming a tool, and you just work every single second of your day for money, and you never schedule time to play basketball or to DJ with your son or to go on an extended date with your wife, taking your wife on an anniversary trip.
Yeah.
What happens if you focus entirely on money and you become a tool of money, Marshall? What happens?
Well, money doesn't provide the fulfillment. Money is the magnifier among the things that you are.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good.
So money will magnify the core values and the way that you want to spend your time. And so the money is not the end goal, but can be a vehicle in order to magnify the enjoyment that you receive from all those core values.
Nice.
Clay Stairs, money. Why is it so dangerous to let money make you a tool?
Well, for one thing, money is fleeting, and it can come today, gone tomorrow. There's always more money to get. This is one of the things that Clay, I find with several of the clients that I work with, and Clay, I think that it really takes months for them to break this habit in their brain of I just need to take one more phone call. There's just one more email. I just need to do one more deal.
Right.
I just need to close one more deal. And it's this chasing of money.
How many days a week are you working right now?
Right now, I'm working 3 days a week. This is my Friday today.
So you're saying you work 3 days a week right now?
Yes, sir.
Could you make more money if you worked more days?
Yes.
Why don't you work more?
Because I have met my goal.
You have
That's
created
powerful.
a boundary
That's powerful.
for yourself.
Yeah. I want time freedom. I don't want to just have more and more and more money.
It's so interesting.
I
how
want to
that
have
works.
some time freedom. So I've been able to. And Clay, you're the one that's helped me do this.
It's funny though, because every time I've brought these, because Clay Stairs has been a client of mine for a long time,
7 years.
7 years, and I remember Clay Stairs. You said things to me in our first couple meetings that I don't know what happens, but they get stuck in my mind, and then I won't let it out of my mind. It's like Rachel Wimpy with Tip Top Canine. She told me, she says, I know that you have other businesses, but this is our only business, so it has to work. Stuck in my head, I said, it will work. I don't lose. And now we've opened up 9 locations. You told me you wanted to become a teacher, have a school of some kind, and have time freedom and financial freedom.
Yep.
Because you want to spend more time with your wife. So I thought, okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I kind of have to remind you of that goal.
Yeah.
And I think when I do it, I think you're like, what is he up to? Because I go, I think it's time for you to, well, I think we talked about it. It was like, I think it's time for you not to work on Fridays or something.
Yes, you did.
And then it was like.
And man, that was amazing when you said this. Like, okay, thanks for the permission.
But it was weird because
That was
I think you
awesome.
were like, I think we almost got into an argument over it. I think you were like, what's your motive here?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why? And then we were like, and I said, I don't think you should work on Thursdays either. I think you should not do that. And I remember again, it was like, that was probably like 4 years later. It was like, what? And then we talked recently. I'm like, I think all you should be doing is coaching your coaches and onboarding.
Yeah.
Because your team is doing a fine job.
Yeah.
And that, like, I think these ideas of having time freedom, I don't think people have ever thought about what you would do if you had the time.
Yeah.
So I encourage you today, is I want everyone to make a list, Marshall, of the 6 Fs.
Okay.
And I'm going to type the Fs, but I would like for you to share what the F's are.
Okay. So this is your 6 F's, your F6 goals, okay? Number 1 is faith. What is your faith? What are the things that you want to achieve in your faith? So I'm not going to stand on the microphone here and tell you what your goal should be, but when and where are you going to work on your faith? What your faith goals, okay?
I believe you can't get to heaven through works, but I'd like to try. So I'd like to be just a little bit better spiritually than Marshall. That's my goal. For the year.
Nice.
Okay, continue.
Nice. Okay.
No, but seriously, you have to have a set time, though, right, to achieve
right.
this goal.
That's right.
So your faith goal is what? What is your goal?
My goal is the thing that allows me to grow spiritually is to watch TD Jakes in the morning during meta time.
Yep.
Regularly. I think I've shared some TD Jakes videos with you. We've gone back and forth and referred to each other different videos.
Yeah.
But that's what I get from my goals. And then being able to attend church, Catholic Mass with my mom when she wants me to attend with her.
And when you schedule time for that means you're not doing something else.
That's right.
Okay. Goals for family. Marshall, what are your goals for your family? For a family. For family.
He asked the man who is not married.
I'm asking. People out there want to know. Mainly me. Come on.
Mainly me. So I right now have blocked off every weekend on Sundays. I want to have time with my family. I go over to my parents' house. I spend time with them. I spend time with my sister.
Are you into inbreeding? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I go over there, and then it's about to that point. It's on the percolation level.
It's on the percolation level where what is the goal?
Where I might jump back into dating.
Would you ever get married? Was that something you're ever considering?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting married.
Really?
Yeah, I'd love to get married.
Do you have in your mind? Do you have in your mind you say certain attributes? This has to happen for this to be a fit.
Got to be competitive.
This is going to be the biggest downloadable loaded podcast ever. We're finding out what Marshall's looking for.
No, I'm being serious though. See, this person has to be competitive.
Yeah, got to be competitive. Got to have a big drive.
What else are musts? Character traits.
Has to be funny. A lot of funny. Yeah.
See, I know these things about you because we've talked about this a little bit in the past before. I know these things, but you have goals.
That's right. Very specific things in my mind.
So you are not going to become a tool of the dating scene, right?
Well, anything goes.
No, but don't you know people like that? They will date anybody that moves.
They're cute.
They're like, well, they're cute. I guess I could make it work. What are you doing? Have goals. Finances. Financial goals.
Finances. You got to schedule when and where are you going to devote yourself where finances and work is the top priority. Your friends are not the top priority. Your family's not the top priority.
I want to chime in on my goals real quick here.
Okay.
All I want to do is coaches, do the conferences, and then this podcast. And that is pretty much all I want to do. And I pretty much am almost there. But there's little things that have to happen. But I know my goals. But I have been approached with some really, really lucrative offers this year, and I've said no to all of them. One guy literally called me and said, if you will take over my business, and he had multiple locations, I'll pay you. It's a nice salary. It was like $12,000 a month, and I'll split profits with you 50-50 if you'll take over. Do you know why I said no?
Because it's not part of your goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, every day's a gift. I only have a certain number left. I don't want to waste my time. Fitness. Marshall, fitness goals. What are your fitness goals?
Fitness goals, I have scheduled, I believe it's 3 or 4 days a week. Now that I am going and working out, I'm lifting weights. I'm getting cardio in. It's good.
I was going to ask you
Enjoying
about
that.
Yeah. Why is it so important you have goals?
Because otherwise, if it's not on the schedule, if I don't have time blocked out to actually do these things, it's never going to get done.
Have you met people that have become a tool of the gym?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
And again, I've met people that have become a tool of social media, of the gym, of money. I know people that work out obsessively and hate their lives. And they never have time to fix them because they're always working out. I know some people that hate their life, but they have so much money, they spend every second of the day in pursuit of money, they don't enjoy their life. Now, friendships. Marshall, friendships. Do you have some friendship goals?
This is an interesting one because we just got finished talking about friends and who are friends, what you need to be friends, and what you don't need to be friends. So this is a good one. So what I've found that my definition of friendship has changed over time. It used to mean one thing to me. Now it means something entirely different.
To me, it used to mean this.
Okay.
If I've known you for an extended period of time or we're related, we're friends. So, like, if we went to school together in college or we were related, I will always be your friend because we used to work together. Anytime that geography was convenient, and I've known you for an extended period of time, I would say we're friends. But now I say if we don't share values and time, we're really not friends.
I ignored somebody earlier this week that I used to talk to regularly, daily. Just ignored it 100% because I asked myself, am I going to enjoy any part of responding to this text message? The answer was no, so I was like, no, not going to happen.
There's a person whose name I will not mention, but who I interviewed for our show. Big, very successful person. In our pre-interview, I asked him, I said, hey, is there like a life hack that you want to share about on today's show? And he goes, well, yeah, one thing I do is if my phone rings and the person, it shows the name that comes up on the phone.
Right.
If there's an up arrow in front of their name, that means I like them because they lift me up. If it's a down arrow, that's like a Debbie Downer. And that means I don't ever answer the phone ever. And I said, that's awesome. Can we share that? And he said, no, I probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't share that. But he literally will not answer the phone unless you're an up arrow. And I said, how many people are on the up? He goes, like 10 maybe.
Wow.
And this is a huge author who's liked by everybody. And I said, anybody who calls you that doesn't have an up arrow, he goes, yeah, I got like 10 of them on my phone. That's my move.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the move. Craig Rochelle has 2 phones.
You got to separate it.
He has 2 different phones. Pastor Craig Rochelle has 2 phones.
Yeah.
So the capstone thought again today. Now, fun. Let's talk about fun.
Yep.
Clay Stairs, have you ever seen people that become tools to fun? They're just always in pursuit of fun
and entertainment.
Always rafting.
Yeah.
Always skiing. Always no, seriously. Always skiing. Always rafting. Always coming to a trip. Getting back from a trip. Going to a trip. Coming back. Always traveling. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Or just caught up in the entertainment world of the sports and athletics and going to games. And
I was thinking of some of the worst vices of fun entertainment vices, and then you said rafting.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming.
We had a very skilled member of our team years ago who would always disappear. I mean, every 3 weeks, they're like, I got to go to Colorado. I can't work this week. I'm like, okay, I got to go skiing. I got to go rafting. I got to go skiing. And it was always going rafting or coming back from rafting. Yeah. And so I could never promote the person because they could never string together more than 4 weeks in a row of being on time. And when they come back from rafting, they're always like hoarse, and they're like, they're sunburned and they're very hoarse. And I'm like, man, you guys, what happened? Like, oh, bro, man, this is unbelievable, man. It's freaking awesome. And then they would spend like the Monday they got back talking to everyone about their trip and not working at all.
Yeah.
And then the day before they left on the trip, it was like the last day of school.
Oh, yeah.
And they never worked then either. Mm-hmm. But they were a slave to their travel schedule.
Yeah.
So again, if you're out there and you are becoming a tool to anything, don't let it happen.
Yes.
Don't let it happen. Don't become a slave or a tool to something. And that would be my capstone thought I want to end today's show with.
Nice.
And Marshall, do you feel good about ending today's show?
I feel good about yeah, absolutely.
I don't feel good yet. Can you read the Ray Dalio quote one more time?
Okay.
I don't feel good. I wanted to feel good. I was on the verge.
Having the basics, a good bed to sleep in, good relationships, good food, and good sex is most important. And those things don't get much better when you have a lot of money, or much worse when you have less. And the people one meets at the top aren't necessarily more special than those one meets at the bottom or in between.
Yeah.
That's big.
The guy's, he's like Yoda.
He is like the Yoda of business. His book is called Principles. His name's Ray Dalio. I would love to have him on the show in the future. I think so far I've been rejected several times, but I'm going to circle back until eventually he says yes.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. And so now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.